Hello, it's cold, wet, miserable and dark, which means it's an ideal time to work on one of my own cars. This is my 1996 TVR Chimaera 400. People who watch this channel quite often want me to work on some of my other cars. I own a Citroen SM, for example. I have a D, it's not a DS, I have a D Super, I have a Hillman Imp, I have Citroens variously. Loads of different things. This is the car that it's been the longest amount of time since I've worked on it last. 743 days. Probably, I don't know, I'm just making that up. But it's been about 2 years. This car, I've not touched this car for such, well, that's lies actually, I touched it a couple of days ago. But up until that point, it had sat at the back of the unit, gathering...
Anybody? No? Dust.
Ugh. So what I've been doing is trying to get it back to life. The last video I did on this car, I was taking the pedal box out and I was sort of trying to refurbish the pedal box because the issue the car had is that the master cylinder, the brake master cylinder, had leaked, and it had leaked brake fluid into the servo, and then it had leaked out the back of the servo and gone down the footwell, and it was just a mess. So I've had to completely refurbish the pedal box. I've changed everything. I've changed the bushes in the pedals, I've shot blasted it and painted it, clutch master cylinder, servo, brake master cylinder, even the reservoirs come off a different car. In today's episode of cutting corners and trying to save money on my own car, this is a used clutch master cylinder for a TVR Chimaera, and I am rebuilding it. I am actually rebuilding a clutch master cylinder. I'm overhauling it. I've cleaned out the bore, made it very nice. It was quite grubby in there. Now it is quite smooth, he says, having just noticed something in there. I'll have to get rid of that. There's a bit of grub in there. That's the piston. No seal fitted to it at the moment. There's a spring, there's the clip thing that holds the rod into the spring thing, and there's a spring washer, and that's about it. One of the things that I had to do before I refitted it is refit the pipework. These cars have a bulkhead fitting, a manifold if you like, in the bulkhead, so that all the pipes come out of all the cylinders into the back of a manifold, and then in the engine bay, the other side of that manifold, they go off to the various things that they're supposed to go off to. Basically, because in this car, the brake master cylinder, clutch master cylinder, everything, it's all hidden inside the wing. So I'll show you that in a minute. I didn't make those pipes that go on the inside. TVR did originally. In fact, this is them. They're about 700mm long each, if anyone needs to know for their own car. There are different fittings to make sure you get them in the right things, because obviously you don't want to go plumbing the front to the back and stuff like that. These are a pain. You have to make these and then bend them in place and then bolt up all the fixings in the master cylinder and then in the manifold in the footwell, and it makes it a faff. So I had some stainless braided flexi hoses made, and because I am comfortable with my sexuality, I had them done in, well, it's actually purple, it's not pink, but it's purple. You're going to ask, why am I having it done in purple? Why do they do them in purple? Well, this is .5 brake fluid. I mean, it has no label, but this is .5 brake fluid, not .5.1. This is .5. This is silicone, and this is what I'm putting in the car. It's a fit and forget solution, and basically I just have to make sure that I have got all of the old brake fluid out of it and probably replace some of the older seals that have been in brake fluid for such a long time. But this is purple, so I thought, purple. I've put the pedal box back in. I've refitted the steering rack. I've changed the lower steering column bearing. I've changed the housing it goes in. I've got a nice alloy billet housing for it. So I'd done all this work in the cabin here. Oh look, oh god, it's dark. I had a nightmare. Oh, I just realised I haven't changed my pedal rubbers. Got new pedal rubbers. Although they're not actually, those ones have got TVR on them and these ones don't, but I can live with it. Yeah, so there's me. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, so basically the cockpit in here, the cabin, was a nightmare because the entire footwell was just soaked in brake fluid, and the carpets were as well. I've jet washed these ones, actually. That is now lovely and clean. But that inner one there, I can't easily remove that to clean that, and that one in there. Oh no, I did take that one out actually, and I've stuck that one back in. It was this one down here. So I've done my best to clean it all, and it's all stuck, and I think it's, and you can still see it's a bit shiny down there still. Luckily it's fiberglass. So yeah, so the new pedal box is in there, new switch, we'll have new pedal rubbers, everything's been refurbished, everything's freed off, everything's new. There's the manifold up there I was telling you about. I shall, oh no, focus on it. Oh, damn it. There we go. Yeah, that's what I spent a lot of time on. And then the steering column, it has a new bearing housing at the bottom, which when you come round to the side, I haven't finished it yet because it's not sealed. This needs to be sealed to stop all that, because it's brilliant design, all the rain and muck flicking up onto that. And also these UJs foul because it's sitting in a different place now. Of course it is. So yeah, that's how that's gone. So that's all gone nicely. There's no play in this at all now. Oh yeah, that's solid. So, you know, from this point of view, brakes, steering, suspension, everything like that, going nicely. All I've got to do is remove the brake calipers. In fact, I've got 2 refurbished calipers upstairs for the front. I've got new discs and things. The back ones, I'll have to take those off, strip them down and change all the seals and things before the .5 goes in. But the next thing I needed to do before all of that was get it running again. But I couldn't get the car to start when I hooked the battery up, which is frustrating. And there's a reason why. Now, I don't know if you remember, if you watched any of these, if you're OG, if you've been around here a little while and you've been watching these videos, you might remember I did a video on this car, man, it must be like 3 years ago, where I said that it was leaking petrol. And it was leaking petrol. The old fuel pump, I think it corroded around the actual body of the pump. There was all sorts of issues with it. So I changed the fuel pump. I put a brand new fuel pump in it. This brand new fuel pump. This brand new Bosch fuel pump. Would you like to see what happens to the brand new Bosch fuel pump if I try and run it? There's our brand new pump. Oh. 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 Yeah. Now, I've had fuel pumps not last very long before, or more likely actually, I've had cheap fuel pumps not last very long, and I've had proper pucker Bosch or Morelli or Hella or something like that. I've had those pumps fail when they've been taken out of a car and then left to dry out. That has happened. That has not been the case with this. This pump was full of fuel when it came out. It's been in the car about 2 years. I've driven this car the total sum of, how many miles? 0. No miles at all. It's been in there 2 years. It's run about 3 times in that time. Now, I have been stupid. This is my fault in a way, because I drained the fuel out of the car and only left a tiny bit in it. And it might have been E10. I don't know, but it smells rank. That smells nothing like petrol in there. So it seems, I'm not one of these people who says, oh, modern fuels, they're killing everything, the end of the world, tinfoil hats and new world order. And I don't buy any of that shite. But on this occasion, I think the fuel is the problem. I think modern fuel has killed my pump, because I'm guessing that inside of this, there's going to be one component somewhere. I really shouldn't empty petrol onto the floor. It's not petrol anymore, is it? Yeah, there's going to be one component in this which is rusted up or jammed or seized or something like that. I could cut it open. I don't care enough to do that. Luckily, these have got a little bit cheaper in the last couple of, well, months, actually. But yeah, I could cut it open. I'm probably going to fill it through. I might fill it with penetrating fluid and see if, you know, just experiment with it, or diesel or something like that, you know, just to see, because, I mean, I can't use it really, but I could test it. So I have bought another pump, and it's now fitted to the car. This car hasn't run genuinely hasn't run for about 2.5 years, at least 2 years, possibly 2.5 years. So now I'm going to see if it does. That's going to be the first thing to do now. Let's see if this thing runs. And if it does run, then I'm probably just going to go home. But then tomorrow I'll come in and I'll fit this. This is a clutch slave cylinder. It's one I'm going to fit before I bleed the clutch in with the new .5 fluid because, well, there's no point using the old slave cylinder. It's full of brake fluid, clutch fluid. And yeah, I'm going to fit this before I do that. Then I'm going to bleed the clutch in, and then hopefully that's the clutch done. But I will still only have the handbrake to stop the car with. And in a TVR, that's not really much of a brake at all, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's the plan. Get this in tomorrow, and then I can take this car off the ramp because I have my Citroen C4 VTS 180 raffle prize car. Needs to go on the ramp because I need to sort the exhaust out. Someone actually wants to test drive that car for a video. Nut hub, no, something. Anyway, so yeah, let's see if we get this thing running, and then we'll pick the video up when I'm doing this to see if the car actually moves. I've got some new wheels I'm going to put on it as well. I'll see what you think about those when I put them on. New petrol. And it is E5 this time. I thought it was last time. I don't often put E10 in a car. What it probably was, in fact, did I nick some fuel out of another car and put it in? And then take it back out with this? I might well have done. Now, I'm not going to go pouring the fuel directly into the tank here because I will spill it. And it'll be funny for everyone else, but not for me, because I'll make my boot smell of petrol. So I'm using my homemade fuel pump. There we go. Well, hopefully it doesn't leak. I want to get this on the road, this car. I think I would enjoy driving it. I've not driven this one before. I've driven this car before, actually. I have. When a customer used to own it, I drove it. And it had niggles. He didn't often drive it. He was always, I think he was working or he was busy or something. I think he had another car as well. So it used to just sit around, and I said, oh, it's deteriorating. You need to do this. And he said, yeah. And he had all the good intentions. And then that never happened. And it got really bad. And I ended up buying it off him for what was at the time quite a cheap price, quite a good price. Now, not so much, because the values of them have fallen, because I've bought one. So basically, if I buy a Chimaera, they nosedive in value. So yeah, got a roof in here as well, look. Need to do that. That's the Targa panel cover. Oh, I don't know how to do all that. Right, so we'll let that fill, and then we'll see if it runs. One by one, all the gauges are falling into the dashboard, which is actually a fairly common thing. So I've got the ignition on now. Let's see if the fuel gauge works. It's doing something. Oh, there's my fuel pump. Cavitating. Yes, it is. Is it actually empty? Yes, it is. Good. I tell you what, it's a much neater way of putting fuel in a TVR than trying to fit a jerry can between the boot and the wing. Right. Yeah. I mean, they're never the most accurate, so right, let's see if the fuel pump primes. I have to faff about. There you go. So it should do, because the relay was clicking the other day. It's just the fuel pump wasn't doing anything. Oh, there we go. Let it prime up. And the stepper's moving as well. Promising. Right, let's mount you up and go for a start. Come on, you, show everyone that TVRs are not unreliable. It might not start because I've probably robbed something off the engine. I'd nicked quite a lot off the engine on this. Right, Not bad for 2.5 years. She's missing a little bit. Bit of a misfire going on. What problem? Right, well, we definitely got a misfire. Got no oil pressure gauge at all. Oh, I think it might be in there actually. Oh, the front of it's in there. Is the gauge in the dashboard? Yes. I'm not going to run it for too long because if it's misfiring it won't be doing any good. But oh, something smells burny. See me purple? Look at that. So basically, when the reservoir, which is there, when that's in there, that's sealed up, and the clutch is normally sealed up by this as well. So that's where the air filter lives on a Chimaera. Peter Wheeler's dog took a bite out of the motor. That's bollocks. He didn't. Oh, I wonder if that's the misfire. Yeah, that's probably it. I suspect the microphone was having an aneurysm at that point, but yeah, I think I might have found the misfire. Yeah, that'll be it. Ow! My God, that gets hot. Ow. That's not... None of these are actually clipped on. Why are none of them clipped on? I've got a new set of leads there to go on, fancy posh ones, but and I've got no, I realise I've got no dizzy, no, that's why, because they're crap and they break for fun. Let's check the other side. Yeah, the other side is all fastened on, all clipped on, so bizarre, isn't it? Wonder why they were unplugged. Oh, it needs new fuel lines as well. It's not ideal if they blow, because they just spray straight onto the exhaust manifold. Alright, let's see if the misfire's gone. Oh, I don't know. Don't know. Oh, it has. Kind of. It hasn't fully gone. I mean, I'm going to service it anyway. It'll get new plugs, new leads, new dizzy cap. It's going to get everything new. I'm not expecting it to run perfectly at the moment, but this is good. This is very helpful. Right, well done, car. Oh, actually, I've been looking for all this. Actually, no, I'm going to leave them in there because I'm not finished with it yet. So, yeah, I've got to do some finishing touches with the steering. I've got to do, the bonnet release cable was broken. That comes out down there and goes into that. What the hell is this? Oh, that's the grommet for it. So I've got to fit a new one of them. I've got to finalise the bolts for the, I've got to put some sealant under these bolts and do them up. The bolts for the pedal box. And then, yeah, change the clutch master cylinder. No, slave cylinder. Knew I was going to get it wrong. Slave cylinder. And bleed that in with the new fluid. I'll do that in a different video. I'll do that as a part of a different... I don't need to film myself bleeding in a clutch, do I? But that's the clutch master cylinder there, which is clean. So that's what the other one's going to have in it. But yeah, the servo goes inside. Look, it's down in there. So, and it's all just completely encapsulated in fiberglass. You can't see any of it when it's all buttoned up. So I've got my purple fluid, slave, brakes I will come to. I'm not going to do the hydraulics on those yet. I'm just going to use the handbrake. Oh, actually, no, I can't do that because I haven't got a seat. I just realised I took the seat out and the runners are rusted off the bottom of it. Right, I'm going to do that as well. Basically, I was pushing the car around with no steering column in it. So, got it onto the ramp with some help from some guys next door and manually turning the steering. A pain, as you can imagine. So, what I've done now is I've got the steering fitted at least, and I'll have a handbrake and I'll have a clutch. So, getting it back on the ramp will not be too difficult. I need to get it on the ramp to do more work. Among other jobs I've got to do, you can see them from here. Will that make it better or worse? Worse. The headlamps. The bowls inside are absolutely shagged. That will be a different video. That is a problem for many Chimeras. You see a Chimera with brown headlamps, it's not an easy thing to sort out. It's in theory, it's an easy thing to sort out, but in practice, it isn't. Yeah, there's just lots of stuff I've got to sort out like that as well. That needs gluing back up. I'm not going to bother changing it. I think I'll just glue it up. This is not going to be a show-winning car. It's actually a lot better than it looks. Like, painters are going to be absolutely crying me doing that, but it does actually polish up quite well. It's got a few chips and a few marks, and a lot of this is just... Oh, that's damage. Oh, good, I've done that, obviously. Brilliant. Okay, well, maybe it's worse than I thought. This is just where the paint's worn away. The stones have worn it. Got Picasso side repeaters fitted for some reason. Hang on. I'll tell you, this bloody light. Why does it's on like... That light has got a mind of its own. Right. See if I can do this one-handed. I can't do it one-handed. Oh, no, have I? There we go. And then... Because it should have had these, you see, from new. And someone has fitted them clear ones to... Oh. Clear ones to it. There we go. Yes! Yes! Actually, I might prefer black ones. I think black could look better, but whatever. It's silly. It was bugging me having these when it's got orange on the front and on the back. So, yeah, they're off of Picasso. Wheels, that's what I was going to show you. So the standard wheels, last thing I'll show you, fairly boring 5-spokes. They're known as Imolas. I don't like those. What I've been given, well, I've given a customer left them. They're not my favourite wheels, but they've got a bit of a dish. They're a straight fit. They're the right size, 205, 55, 15, and the backs are 16, so they're staggered. The offset's right, the size is right, and the TVR centre cap fits that perfectly, so I can put TVR centre caps in it. The only thing I don't really... Let's sit down. These, I don't know why they do that. It looks shite. The rim needs, yeah, they need refurbishing, but I can have them for a while. Yeah, they'll do. They'll do. So, and then yeah, basically plan is new headlights, new brakes, new wheels, New roof. Polish, 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 MOT. Drive it. And then worry about the chassis later because that is crusty.